I'm sorry. I'm adding you on LinkedIn. So now we're best friends. We have like 32 connections. So
That's it?
well, hey, that's it. I mean, I'm not you. You know, I don't know people that well. This is something we're gonna make this happen. Anyway, I'm here with Christopher Berkeley. We're here covering, of course, the doom that came to Gotham. Well,
Yes.
Batman, the doom that came to Gotham. We have to say it correctly, right?
Yes.
Okay, great,
Perfect.
great. So when you're dealing with Lovecraftian horror and an iconic superhero like this, how do you balance the two? How do you find the appropriate balance for horror and superhero?
Oof. Well, with Batman, it made it a little bit easier because he is already inherently, well, Batman in his desires as a persona, he does he he exudes horror to his would-be opponents.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
he wants to appear horrific towards them, hence the disguise. So that's why he
Yeah.
dresses up as a bat, because he wants to instill fear in people. So ah, okay, I'll stop. You know. But they never do because that's why the rogues gallery keeps coming in, growing and growing and growing. So,
Hmm.
but does that mean he's not good at his job? No,
Oh,
no,
it's
no.
fantastic.
Let's cut that out.
No.
Batman's excellent at his job.
Yes. There we go. I
Uh,
mean, no, that's great. That's
but
good.
I think that's one of the cool things about mixing these two together, is that is that Gotham is already this dark, dreary, gloomy place,
Yeah.
and then now you've got this thing that's coming to Gotham,
Mm.
and who better to solve this problem than the Batman?
Oh, I like it. I like it. So now you're doing a retelling of a story that people love, Mike Mignola and everything like that. What did you do to kind of separate it from what people know and kind of give us a little bit more? Put your stamp on it.
That's an interesting question because when you're adapting comics,
Hmm.
when you read a comic, you're reading pages.
Oh yeah.
But when you're making a movie based off of a comic or adapting a comic, or even a novel, so to speak, but I think more so specifically with a comic book, there's things that happen in between the gutters of a comic, from a panel to a panel. There's a lot of unseen things that our minds fill in the blanks with. So now when we're doing an adaptation, it's our sort of our duty to fill in what happens in between those panels. Because that panel just might be this thing, a panel of a guy moving or punching, and then the next panel, and it's got all these word bubbles. They're like, yeah, I had to, dispatch this villain thusly, very quick. And then the next panel, he's eating a bowl of Cheerios, and he's finishing his bowl of Cheerios. He's like, yeah, it's like, but he's got a black eye. He's like, yeah, and I had to pay a price for it with the black guy, but you should see the other guy.
Ah,
So,
okay. I like
so
that.
but
I
those are the
like
two
that.
panels you get. But now, like when you're adapting it, you have to sort of show the fight, in some capacity, maybe. But you got to show something
Yeah,
because
of course.
you got to keep the camera rolling. And now, how much of that fight do you want to show,
Ooh.
or how much do you not want to show? And now, do you want to show him eating a bowl of Cheerios at the end of it? Because thematically, it might not work anymore.
Right.
But it works in the comic. But it might not work when you're watching it
Yeah, literally,
as
it's
it's
like,
moving.
oh, this isn't really
Yeah,
advantageous or anything.
yeah. It's like, especially when the tone is supposed to be grim, or if you set this tone of a movie that you're working on, or even a short or whatever, you want to kind of keep that tone consistent. I mean, if you want to do this, then it's kind of okay. But if it's like, no, we're doing this. If you and then it's kind of like, because the people are following you. It's like
Oh,
when
yeah.
if you're following somebody that's driving somewhere,
Oh.
and if they're always hitting the brakes, you're like, oh my gosh, are we ever going to get there? Like, what are you doing? You're a horrible driver.
Something I hear a lot.
Yeah. But if it's smooth sailing, it's like boom, bam, boom, and you're there. Oh man, we got here. Man, you're a great guide.
See,
Thank you.
See, this is why you're a great director. I mean, this is why. This is it. Like, you were just able to, like, all right, well, this is why I do it this way, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. But it's always subjective,
Mhm.
because some people, like, they can make the breaking fun. They can. It's a lot like jazz.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's
Okay.
very much
I
like
like
jazz.
that.
You know,
I
it's
like that.
It's storytelling into itself is a standard. You know, it's this is the song we're playing. We all know it. We all know the song.
Yeah.
But now let me put my lips on the horn and my sticks on the pick on the drums. I'm gonna give you something juicy now.
Ooh,
But
right.
you know the song, but you don't know how I'm gonna play it.
There you go. Okay, well, thinking about that, when you're talking about standards and things of that nature, let's think about Twitter, social media for a second.
Oh.
If you had to go ahead and describe this movie in a tweet, how would you do it?
Oh, I think I already did that earlier.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, you did slightly.
Yeah. No, I did it earlier.
Yeah. Oh.
In a earlier on the illustrious red carpet, I did it earlier.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I'll stay consistent. If I had to describe it, I would say it's a movie about despair, desire, and hope.
Oh, bravo! We're not the first to get that, actually. Someone else is, and I'm just glad that we were able to steal it because that is so good. It is so good. And I'm going to say actually exactly what they said. So literary. My gosh. Wow. No, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for playing with me. It was great here.